My name is Gregory Eaton. I'll be interviewing Whitman Veterans Agent Jerry Eaton today. We'll be talking about different services that he has available.
With the current economic times, it was only right that I asked the Veterans Agent how he feels that the taxpayers get the money's worth out of the Tri-Town Parade.
It's Rockland, Abington, and Whitman, and the cost of it is split up between the three towns. Each town pays for the year when the parade's in their town, so the town is saving money, the residents are saving money 2 out of every 3 years. So financially, it's been a great thing that we came up with this combination of doing the 3 towns. That came about several years ago, long before my time in this position.
With such a long and storied history of the Tri-Town Parades, it's only right that I asked Jerry how long the Tri-Town Parades have been going on.
I think this is like the 56th one, so they've been doing it for quite a while.
With the focus being on economics, I had asked Jerry, and he felt that the soldiers got anything out of the Tri-Town Parades.
I think it's a worthwhile thing. It's patriotism. That's been a long time been missing around this country, and it's beginning to come back. And I think it's important to the soldiers that are coming back from the war and coming back from around the area, coming back to the area, that at least they know people are aware that they've done their share to do what they could do.
Recently in the paper, there had been many stories about people pretending to be soldiers and collecting money in front of stores, and then running off and taking the money to bar rooms in different places and giving it to soldiers because they felt that there was too much red tape involved with doing it the proper way.
Well, I have no proof that they are totally fraudulent, but what they're doing with the money is not supporting veterans. They're taking the money from this area, and this particular group is out in Rhode Island, out of Rhode Island, and they're just taking the money back to Rhode Island, and then they're putting it in the wrong pockets. It's like 2% that's going back to the veterans.
After exposing these scams, it was only appropriate that I asked Jerry if there are any legitimate ways to make sure that your money makes it into the pockets of those soldiers that you're looking to help.
The VFW, the American Legion, DAV, and there's several others that are out there that do annual drives to raise money and identify themselves. These other groups are just out there in fake BDU, Army uniforms, Navy uniforms, and a plastic bucket to put money in. That's only sealed with those wire tie or the plastic zip tie things. At least the organizations, when they're out there, they have sealed cans. Nobody can get the money out of them except when they go back and count it. There's these other groups that are scams and claim they're taking money. I had one that told me they were taking money back to the veterans and taking it to the bar rooms and giving it away to veterans because it took too much red tape to do it the proper way. So, there's all kinds of scams out there. Unfortunately, people walk by these things, see the uniform, and they put money in the bucket because they think they're helping their local veteran.
Later in the same article, it talked about an incident in front of Walmart in Abington, where Jerry and the Abington Veterans Agent Joe Contoni shut down a fraudulent group.
Joe got a phone call and said that they were out there again. We already chased them a couple of times, and somebody from Abington called Joe and said they were there again. So it's just a case of sending them out of our neighborhood. We keep the money in our neighborhood. We don't need to take it from here to Rhode Island to give it away.
As we expanded on patriotism, I had to ask Jerry about recent newspaper articles that detailed fraudulent people calling up and pretending to be soldiers and saying that they were going to offer money to the families of loved ones, like what had happened at Fort Hood just a couple of days before.
Well, the best way is to call your local veterans agent or call the Attorney General's office and see if they're a legitimate organization and find out what percentage goes back to the needy. Most of them are giving like 2% back to the needy. 98% is going in their pocket.
While on the topic of how much bang for the buck we get as taxpayers, I felt that it was important to ask Jerry how he felt that we should improve the VA hospital's budget and the services they offer there.
Well, that's funded nationally in the defense budget every year, and I'm sure that, you know, there's a lot of money that goes there, and there's a lot of money that needs to be used to help the soldiers. So, do we need more? I don't know. I don't run their budget.
At this time, I'd like Jerry to expand on what exactly he does as the veterans agent for Whitman.
We provide services to needy veterans, anywhere from writing letters and helping them get their disabilities and collecting insurance money, death benefit money, financial aid for education, and also there's a small stipend that the poor people can get.
During these crucial times, I feel it's important for people watching these videos to know how they can get help if one of their loved ones is on active duty right now.
Depending on the situation, if it's an emergency, there may be ways to do it. It depends on what the situation is and what the law says. The best way to do that is to apply to unmet needs at the VFW.
With such a great program run by the VFW, I thought that was important to ask Jerry how he felt that the VFW could improve its membership with young veterans.
I'm not sure that, you know, people join because they want to join and because they have the time to join. And today, you know, a lot of these young people, they've got other things that they need to spend their money and their time on. I'm not sure what the answer to that question is. It's a case of individuals having the time and the initiative to want to join and participate.
During this time, when it seems like we forget about our soldiers over in Iraq and Afghanistan, I asked Jerry if he thought that it was important that we have a few holidays, like Memorial Day and Veterans Day, set aside to celebrate those of us in the armed services.
Well, those 2 days are set aside to recognize the veteran and also the veteran that's made a supreme sacrifice, which is Memorial Day. You know, I think that patriotism has improved a whole lot, and I think that most of the days now you will see a lot more respect for veterans than you had seen 20 years ago.
And as I wind down this interview, I want Jerry to go through some of his contact information so that anyone watching this video will be able to better access him and his services.
Well, they can call my phone, 781-618-9750. They can email me at vso@whitman-ma.com.
This is why I'm hot. 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 I'm hot 'cause I'm